Good morning! So today I'm gonna be letting random prompts pick my TBR for August. So basically I wrote a bunch of book prompt ideas, a little piece of paper, put them in this jar. They're basically things like a book with a purple cover, a book with an animal on the cover, a fantasy, a book with a crazy opening line, just random things like that. Whenever I pull out, I have to pick a book that will be what I plan to read in August. So we're just doing the first two rows, just ignore this last row. These two rows are basically the books I'm most excited about starting in August, and I don't know which one to pick. So I think this will be a great way to help me decide what do I want to read in August. Hello, cat. I love in videos you just see this tail going by. What are you up to? You want some coffee? Yummy. Speaking of the coffee that I'm drinking, thank you, Kat, for this great segue. It is from Trade Coffee, who has kindly sponsored this video. Trade Coffee is a coffee subscription service that partners with independent roasters. They have over 450 plus unique roasts, and my favorite part is that you tell them what kind of coffee you're into, how much coffee you drink, and they match you to a coffee uniquely suited to your taste. Plus, their coffee is roasted fresh to order. Their coffee is always shipped out within 48 hours of being roasted. And I love that they have free shipping. They have super customizable plans depending how much coffee you drink, what kind of coffee you want to drink, and you can cancel at any time. And you can receive a free bag of coffee with any subscription by clicking my unique link, which will be linked in the description. Okay, let's get back to picking my next reads. I also want to give a quick shout out to Rachel Catherine. She is the queen of random prompts, pick my TBR. And then I also recently saw Sarah Caroli do this video, and I was like, okay, the booktube girlies are doing this video idea, I have to do this too. It just sounds so fun. Let's pick our first one. Title with 3 words. Okay, let me just pull every book that has 3 words in the title. There's actually a lot more books than I thought that only have 3 words in the title. Okay, turns out 7 books have 3 words in the title. This is supposed to be making it easier for me to pick my TBR, not giving me 7 books to choose between. That is not helping my indecision. This is hard. We've got Ruin and Rising, which is the last book in the Shadow and Bone series. When in Rome, which is a cute little romance. The Unanswered Letter. I have been wanting to read more nonfiction. The Soulmate Equation. I haven't read a Christina Lauren book in so long. Terms and Conditions is another book in the Dreamland Billionaire series, and I am trying to finish all the series I'm in the middle of. The Prison Healers sounds so good, but that does mean I would be starting a whole new series, and same with Dance of Thieves. I think I'm gonna go with When in Rome out of these. It just sounds like a cute little romance between a stranded pop star and a small town baker. I've been hearing so many people talk about Practice Makes Perfect, which is the sequel to this book. I think they can both be read as standalones, but I'd really like to read them in order, and so I really want to read this book to then get to Practice Makes Perfect. All right, let me put these back. I feel like it'd be fun if I could stack these somehow. Okay, perfect. Next up, a book with a yellow cover. Okay, I've got to tell you, I'm really excited about this specific prompt. I may have put this idea in here with a specific book in mind. Let me pull all the books with yellow covers, but I do already know which one I'm gonna pick. Oh wow, there's actually a lot of books with yellow covers. Yellow cover books. The Bodyguard by Catherine Sensor, also a little bit orangish, but no, it's yellow, right? I don't know my colors. This book sounds so cute, and I've heard so many good things about it. My favorite thing specifically is that she's the bodyguard. I feel like it's always the guy that's the bodyguard. I feel like that's gonna be so fun. I bet she's so strong, badass. I just think it's gonna be such a fun dynamic. And it says that she's protecting superstar actor Jack from his middle-aged corgi breeding stalker. And then we've got I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jeanette McCurdy, and I really, really, really want to read this book. I've heard such good things about it. Like I said, I want to read more nonfiction. I feel like August is the month to try a nonfiction book. And this is basically about child actor Jeanette McCurdy's very complicated relationship with her mom. And then Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez, which actually just has a yellow spine, but I've heard so many good things by Abby Jimenez, and I have never ever read a book by her. And then the one that I'm gonna pick, Fourth Wing. The amount of good reviews and people I've heard talking about this book is crazy. Also, the Goodreads rating, I can't remember what it is, but I'll put it on the screen. It's so high. It's so high. It's crazy. And it's a fantasy about a girl who's going to a war college to train as a dragon rider. I honestly don't know if I've read any fantasy book with dragons in it, now that I'm thinking about it, which feels crazy. I know there were dragons in Harry Potter, but a whole book centered around being a dragon rider sounds so cool. And we are reading this book for my this month's pick on Fable, so if you want to read this book with me, I will 100% be reading this book in August. I can commit to that with my virtual book club. All right. Oh my gosh. I will say that did feel like it was gonna fall at any time. I didn't build a very stable base. Okay, new chosen books display method. Book number 3. highest rated book I own on Goodreads. Let me get my laptop. So on my Goodreads, I have a shelf for my physical TBR. So that's every single book that I own and haven't read yet. And I'm gonna organize it by average rating. And Fourth Wing is the highest rated book I own. I had a feeling it was gonna be at 4.68 stars. That's crazy, that's so high. But the second highest rated book I own is I'm Glad My Mom Died at 4.5 stars. I actually didn't know that. I'm already excited to read this book and that makes me even more excited to read it. All right, I'm Glad My Mom Died, it is. And let's just read the little tiny summary at the top. It says, a heartbreaking and hilarious memoir by iCarly and Sam and Cat star Jeanette McCurdy about her struggles as a former child actor, including eating disorders, addiction, and a complicated relationship with her overbearing mother, and how she retook control of her life. A lot of you guys have also told me that the audiobook is narrated by her and that it's like really powerful to listen to the audiobook because you can just hear the anguish and emotion in her actual voice. So I think I'm definitely gonna listen to the audiobook. I'll probably go back and forth between the two. All right, book number 4. A one-word title. Do I actually have any one-word titles? Oh. Okay, I'm actually torn. My 2 books with one-word titles is Caraval and Hooked. So Caraval is an entire series, and then after the events of Caraval comes the Once Upon a Broken Heart series. I already read the Once Upon a Broken Heart series, so I've been really wanting to go back and read the Caraval series since I didn't read them in the right order originally because I love the Once Upon a Broken Heart series. But again, I am in the middle of so many series. Or there's Hooked, which I don't think is like a full Peter Pan retelling, but it's like Peter Pan retelling vibes. On Goodreads, it says, a dark and delicious fractured fairy tale reimagining of Peter Pan. Not sure the difference between a retelling versus a reimagining, but basically it is a romance between Wendy and James is the first name of Captain Hook, who is the villain of Peter Pan. So we've basically got like villain vibes. Love interest, which I love. Like, love that. And then Peter is James's enemy, Peter Pan. So the summary makes it sound like it's gonna really put the original Peter Pan story in a completely new light. And I guess this is technically a series too, but all of the other books are just standalone fairy tale retellings. Okay, this is so hard. I feel like you guys are gonna be mad at this decision. I think I'm gonna go with Hooked just because I don't know if I can commit to the whole Caraval series right now. I just started Shatter Me, and so my priority is to finish the Shatter Me series in August as well, which I didn't even put up here because it's guaranteed I'll be reading a bunch of the Shatter Me books in August. I think Caraval is gonna be better, but I just wanna read it in a month where I'm not reading any other series and I can really commit to reading the whole series from start to finish. We're adding Hooked. Okay, book number 5. Never before read author. Okay, that's fun. Oh, I think there's gonna be a lot of these with authors I've never before read. Oh no, I'm like taking out every book. There's only 8 books left standing that are repeat authors for me. Okay, this is too many books. I'm gonna pick just my top 5 that I'm interested in from new authors. Okay, I think I'm feeling a romance for this pick. So this is Love is a Cinderella retelling. I think it's gonna be really good, but since we've already got a Peter Pan retelling, I'm gonna put this one back. From these 4, I think I'm most excited for Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez and Highly Suspicious and Unfairly Cute. I've never read a Talia Hibbert book before. And she wrote the whole Chloe Brown series, which is so popular. And this is a YA book by her, and it just sounds really, really cute. Or we have Abby Jimenez, which I just have heard so many things about this author and how good of a writer she is. So I think I'm gonna go with Part of Your World. But Highly Suspicious and Unfairly Cute is also high on my TBR. Like, I would not be mad if I picked it for another one of these random prompts. Okay, we have 5 books so far. Let's do 2 more. I feel like I typically read 7-ish books a month. A beautiful cover. Okay. Honestly, fantasy books always have the best cover. I think my top 3 covers out of here is Ruin and Rising. The colors are so pretty. Prison Healer, love this cover. I love the colors. I love how simple it is, but like really pretty it is. And Dance of Thieves, such a cool cover. Very like intricate, but also like I like how it feels very flat in a way of like the design. And I think I'm gonna go with Ruin and Rising. I'm reading Siege and Storm right now, and this is the 3rd book after Shadow and Bone and Siege and Storm. So I feel like when I finish Siege and Storm, I'm gonna want to read the last book in the series. And then when I finish the whole Shadow and Bone trilogy, I am gonna start the TV series, which I've been wanting to do forever. I feel like I can already watch the TV series having read the 1st book. I'm assuming the 1st season of the series is only on the 1st book in the trilogy, but I just wanted to read all the books in the series just in case. I don't want any risk of spoilers. I feel like so far we have pretty good variety. We've got a few romances, a few fantasy, and 1 nonfiction. Time for the last book. This one says, great opening line. Okay, I feel like that's gonna be really fun. Okay, I think I'm just gonna read the opening lines of all of these books and then I'll tell you guys my top ones. Ooh, okay, this one's kind of interesting. From The Bodyguard, it says, my mother's dying wish was for me to take a vacation. I'm curious if her mother's actually dying or if her mother was like being hyperbolic. This one is funny. This is Twisted Hate, the third book in the Twisted series, and it says, nothing good ever comes from swiping right on a guy holding a fish on a dating app. So true. So true. This one's good too, The Lake by Natasha Preston. It says, we're returning to camp, to new friends, to songs and s'mores around the campfire, and to the scene of our crime. We don't have a mystery yet. Why are a bunch of these so good? Okay, Forever Never by Lucy Score. It says, Britt Callan had no idea that he was one grocery aisle away from his worst nightmare. Short but good, Death Arrived at Twilight. So The Housemaid. If I leave this house, it will be in handcuffs. I think I want to do a mystery for this last book. I feel like that'd be fun. I'm torn because The Lake is a summery mystery. So like August, I feel like is like the last kind of really summery month. It takes place at a summer camp and it's summertime. So that's just kind of perfect. And then The Housemaid, I feel like the plot sounds better. It's about a girl who is a housemaid for this very wealthy family. And it says that she has a lot of secrets of her own and she's looking to start fresh here. But it sounds like the family that she's working for also has a lot of secrets. The particular detail in this summary that like really hooked me is that it says, by the time I realized my attic bedroom door only locks from the outside, it was far too late. That's so creepy. I think I'm gonna go with The Housemaid. It just sounds so good. And that is all 7 books that I plan to read in August. There's some other books I plan to read too that I've already picked for specific videos, but it's nice to have these 7, so whenever I'm like, what do I want to read? I don't know what to read, then I can come and look at this stack of books. So we've got, again, The Housemaid mystery thriller by Frida McFadden, Ruin and Rising, the last book in the Shadow and Bone trilogy by Leigh Bardugo, Part of Your World, a romance by Abby Jimenez, Hooked, a Peter Pan fairy tale reimagining by Emily McIntyre, I'm Glad My Mom Died, a memoir by Jeanette McCurdy, and then the last 2, Fourth Wing, a dragon fantasy by Rebecca Yarros, and When in Rome by Sarah Adams, a small town romance. This is actually making me so excited to start reading books in August. This is like a perfect blend and like mix of genres. I feel like it's gonna be so fun. If any of you guys have read any of these books, please tell me in the comments like which one is your favorite, just because like in case I don't get through all 7, like which ones should I prioritize? Which ones are you most excited for me to see reading in reading videos in August? And did you like this video idea? This would be fun to do like every few months to pick my TBR. I've definitely got a ton more like fun prompts that we didn't get to. All right, and with that, there's the tail going. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.